Another year or advent of reading comprehension. Let's see. The preparations are finally complete. You and the elves leave camp on foot to make ready towards the Starfruit Grove. You should move through the dense undergrowth. One of the elves gives you a handheld device, many features. The most important one is communication. Security, you have significant experiences with signal-based systems. That's probably another day, right? Yeah. Each of them are different days. I think I've done most of these. You convince the other elves that it'll be okay to give you their one malfunctioning. You have no problem fixing it. After inspired by comedic timing, it emits a few colorful sparks. You have to lock onto the signal, a series of seemingly random characters that the device receives one at a time. To fix the communications, you need to add a subroutine to detect the start of packet marker. In the protocol being used by the elves, it's indicated by a sequence of 4 characters that are all different. Yeah, that would be perfect for Erlang. Device will send your subroutine a data stream buffer. Your subroutine needs to identify the first position where the first most recently received characters are all different. It needs to report the number of characters from the beginning of the buffer to the end of such a 4 marker. Receive the following data buffer. First 3 have been received, haven't been enough. To find it, making the reason for, yeah. So this would be our input. It would just be a line. In Erlang, it would be trivial. We just write a quick little line that would just snoop off the first 4. Check if one of them is different. If they're mutual, if they're unique. And I know a way I can do that here with sets, but that's boring. I could do a sliding window, but that's a pain. So I'm just gonna do this trivially, which is so we grab the first 4. Is characters 2, 4. If what's the easiest? Because the thing is, you have to check if any of them aren't the same. So that would be, I think, 12 checks or so, which is a bit of a pain. I could make a set out of them and check if the length is 4, which I think I'll just do now because I'm lazy. We can just do set F4. I think dot size, or yeah, so yeah, just do a len call. Equals what? 4 is 4. Return. Yeah, let's just do length, len, characters, else, return, check, characters, there we go. No, yeah, whatever. 27, and then we do len imp minus 7. After the 7th character arrive, yeah, because then the next, yeah, so it'll be plus 4. Or minus 4, sorry, because it's a little longer. Okay, just gonna quickly do just gonna quickly double check if this works with the other examples as well. I know I technically don't need to, but whatever. 5, 6, 10. 7, 5, 6, 10. Yeah, good stuff. Equals open a d6.txt dot read. I can just do read line actually, and then just do dot strip. There we go. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Oh, they fucking changed that. Because what's the length of this? It's 4,000 characters long. Oh, that's just rude. Oh, fucking hell. Python recursion limit. There's a way to raise it. Ah, there we go. That's really fucking stupid. There we go. There we go. Still not working correctly. It looks like it also needs to look for messages. A start of message marker is just like a start of packet. This is 14 distinct instead of 4. I'm pretty sure there is a way to basically do this much better, but whatever. Oh yeah. That was easy. Jesus Christ. How is this difficult? How is this difficult to do at all? I mean, technically I know this can at most be, what is ln2 4096? No, not ln2 times. Oh, that was it, right? It's 12, yeah. So I can just technically do 2 to the power 12. There we go. That'll also always work. Considering F4 is only used once, we can just remove that line. This was way easier than I thought, man. It's a bit sad. I'm mostly annoyed about the recursion limit, because this is 2 lines that I really don't think I would have needed, but... yeah, it's 2 lines. You could make this a 1-liner, which is just, return... if... else. It's good at its tail recursion at least. I'm mostly worried. I'm a bit sad that it was over so quickly. Hey there, Finboy. There must be a better way to do this. So one of the things I saw that Marvin's suggestion was, I mentioned earlier, was a sliding window. What you basically do is you go for you have an imp size. And basically what you do is you do for range, and you start at size, because you don't really care. Len imp or I range. Because what you can do is you basically have a little buffer that equals the start of input, so it'll be this until 14 or size, I guess. And then you just replace one character all the time, which is more memory efficient. And there have been actually a few applications in which I have used this, because sometimes memory complexity very, very much matters. So what you could do is you could do buffer. You need to do I modulus size equals imp I. I think this works. Class string does not define set item. Oh, wait, what? Ah, list. There we go. So now I'm not gonna do this with the big example because I'm not stupid, but the issue here is so what we can do is we can do print dot join buffer. Oh yeah, I need to use the sliding window one. So you get all these blocks of 4. Answer about Friday. Friday could work for me. Today technically could also work. No horrible gimmicks yet. So I think it actually doesn't really work, because it starts with an M, but because I think it replaces it in the wrong place, which is the downside of doing it this way. Later days can get pretty bad. See, the thing is, what Hamster's complaining about specifically is, I think you mean when we had to build an interpreter. Basically, we had I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had a week or two in a row, or not a week or two in a row, but we had I think a dozen days, maybe a bit less, where we would be building upon a simple interpreter. So that was the gimmick of that year. And it would, if you didn't like that, it came back like 10 days. So far, everything's been trivial. Like, I've been able to solve, I think, every single day with mostly one-liners. I think I'll go through the previous days real quick as well, considering I haven't streamed about those. But yeah, so this method I don't think really works that well. Yeah, that was the issue as well. Normally, days aren't related to each other, but if you didn't do the work from the previous day, you couldn't do the work from the other day, because you needed it. So basically, this is a sliding window technically. However, because all these things are toy problems, we don't really care about this. So what we can do is we can basically do minus size, comma size, and then just print imp I to I plus size. And this will also work. So this is another way to basically break it up into chunks. It returns none, whatever, return 0. See? And they also get the chunks. I'd love to see what AoC the Game of Life edition. I think we did like 3, yeah, there were multiple Game of Life versions, Regex edition. I was thinking about solving this day with regex. I'm pretty sure that there is a fairly simple way of doing it, but because you would have like four in a row, but they're not allowed to be the same. And I know you can group stuff. You could do lookbacks, but I don't want to do that. Because there's a way to basically do grouping. So you could do 2, 3. Yeah, let's do something like A to Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would group them. And then there's a way, I think, to check match expression defined in capture group 1. Yeah, so there's some stuff you could use here. It's like a negative look at a positive. Like, I'm sure there's a way to do this, but I really don't want to figure it out. Because I think, like, the... let's see. Yeah, match if I start with match. Okay. So can I say it doesn't match? Oh, I'm still pretty ill. Yeah, I haven't really gotten better at all. My throat's still kind of fucked up. Yeah, so any character, so... Curious if I can do this. So the first one can be whatever, but the second one is not allowed to be... Okay, so I know we have an example where the third character will match the first character. So, but it's just... Yeah, no, because this will just be... This will just match. It won't... How do I say this? It'll copy this, but not exactly what it matches. So I think there's a way to do this, but so what you could do is you could have, because I don't think you can define. I think there is a way to like define variables basically in regex, because it's extremely powerful, but it sucks. So. Anyway, the issue here is that this way, it's nice, but you still need to figure out a way to actually do the checking if there's no duplicate characters. So the super naive way would be to just do, you know, imp. So you'd have, I don't know, a subset. And then you'd have to do some shit like, I want to check if subs 0 is equal to subs 1, and then if subs 0 is equal to subs 2, and this would suck. You could do it, it'd be trivial. But it would be a lot of work. I'm curious to see what Marvin has done. Yeah, as previous contains the character. So what he does is he basically checks for every character he checks a little block and checks basically, is there in the previous N characters, does it exist? It wouldn't surprise me if there's like a duplicate thing. Because you could just do a find. Our find our partition starts with. You just count every letter in the alphabet. Which technically is so ON. But yeah, whatever. this method is ON, and I'm fine with it. It's a little janky to not really care about this conversion to set. Works pretty well. I don't know the complexity of it, but because you're technically only iterating to the string once, it's fine. You only have to do... I think making a set of something is actually quite bad. So, yeah. ChatGPT, fucking ChatGPT, man. Yeah, it also uses a set. Look, I'm not saying I use this, but you know. Technically the iteration way would also work. ChatGPT can do it in anything you want. That's not the right one. It's open chat. I've used it before, so GP. I know who made it. It's the same guys that made Dolly. Why am I doing ChatGPT? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, it's like you can literally give it the prompt. I'll just edit it. I'm not sure why this broke, but I hate it. It actually gives you a fucking test case where the start of a marker is not found. So the text, you're a dummy, so it needs to be big lettered. Yeah, so if we... I think I have seen solutions where you can just... It provides you a block. So this is exactly as provided, right? Okay, this needs to be properly indented. And it works. So you could have solved this day in seconds. And there have been people who've been getting on the leaderboards with it as well. There have been quite a few people complaining that that they've gotten like first or second or third place with ChatGPT. That's yesterday's solution. Yeah, sliding window. Tech, yeah, so they actually here. So they use a deck? No, set. Remove, message, left. That's disgusting. I would just use a deck here. Leaderboard's turbo fuck this year. Yeah, start of it. So, I think the leaderboard, like, this guy's probably ChatGPT. I think one of these guys also says they use all ChatGPT. I know Betavero's legit because he's been there for years. People are predicting that. People are predicting that. I think around day like 10 or so, it'll be too difficult for machines to solve instantly. Because the thing is, these days, the first days are always days that you can solve by just Googling the general concept and kind of just smacking it together, and later on it'll actually be computer science terms. Like, remember I don't know if people tried the stuff from previous years, because that would be quite interested in seeing how far it could get. Might be easier to jet GPT. Could be. I think there will be days where it'll just trip over the concepts. Like, wipe me a Dijkstra. No, exactly. But I think the it'll just get too complex. I think you could feed it bits. But the thing is, if you want to get a Dijkstra in Python, you can just Google that. People have already made it. Seems I'm the third to finish today. Oh, nice. Aftersh finished his day one, his solution for part 1, before Marvin finished his for part 2. And I'm the quickest today with my part 2 solution. Because I'm just that good. No, because I just did a brute force solution. And it was literally changing 3 variables. Anyway, I can... With Shield, there's no point competing. Shield didn't participate today. So, I don't know. I don't know why she didn't. She's quite high on the leaderboards. So if I go to like day 2... There we go, she's 24th. I think one day she was like... Wait. How are they on their oh, part 1 and part 2, I think. Yeah. But you know, you can still participate for fun. Anyway, I'll quickly go over the previous days. Minutes to get both stars, yeah. But like, how long did it take me today? 10 minutes, I think? And that's because I was talking to myself about solutions. If I... Like, I already realized that from the instantly, this was the easiest. I did checking. You know, the people who get the fastest times, they never do checking. They just assume that they're right, because otherwise you won't be the fastest. Anyway, we can go to day 5, which is disgusting. It's my most expensive day yet. It's so disgusting. So day 5 was stacking crates, where most of my struggles were with parsing the input and not actually doing it, because I realized, okay, this is just going to be rearranging bits of an array, which is trivial in Python. So, you know, just gotta parse it. So that's basically, you know, parsing it. Basically check if there's something in this section, then append it, and then just, you know, stack it. The first part 1 is doing it in reverse, and part 2 is doing it normally. They're just... It's not really any interesting bits here. Like I said, most annoying part is just parsing. Figuring out that this was the easiest way. I think I'd read the Saxon manual. There are people who have just hard-coded the input. Yeah, you have to... The only thing is duplicating arrays in Python is a fucking pain. Because if you don't do this properly, it'll copy references. Because Python is really bad with regards to that. So you can do a deep copy, but then you have to import a package, and I hate that. So I have to use this, like, copy every row in stacks, because if you just do like stacks this, it'll copy stacks, but it will keep the same references inside of it. It's a fucking pain. It's one of the worst. It's one of the reasons why, if you actually want to deep dive into computer science, Python fucking sucks, because it's not typed. References are hidden, whereas in C++, you know exactly what you're doing. If you're copying it, you make a new object, and you fill that up. And I could have done that here too, but because you know, it's just a fucking pain. It's a fucking Python. How is this a surprise to anyone? Let's see. Day 4 was... Oh, this is a really disgusting day. Day 4 was... check overlap between sections. So basically you've got... Here you have 2 to 8, 3 to 7, and 3 to 7 is a subset of 2 to 8. And you gotta figure... In the first part, you gotta figure out if they're full subsets. And part 2 was... is there any overlap? So this would be a pair because 6 overlaps with 4, 5, 6, and here's the 3, 4, whatever is full subset here. And in the second part, you also got to count these and these because they're partial overlaps. So I basically have start of the first part as one, section 1. You basically check are they full subsets of each other? Is the start higher than the start of one and the end below the end, so they're full subsets? And same here. Format your gem code is Python. Also, this is intentionally a one-liner filth. This disgusting. It's really bad. And part 2, you just got to check if they're subsets. So you basically got to check yes, it's intentionally disgusting. Which doesn't make it better. For partial subsets, you just got to check if the it's night. What do you mean? Yes. You basically check if the end is within the start and end of the other one, or vice versa. Because partial overlap just means that one of the points overlaps between the other two. So that's what I check here, You sound different, I'm ill. That's why. You have the start of E1 between the start of the first section within the second section, or the start of the first section within the second section. We don't actually have to check the ends ever, because if the ends, they're completely irrelevant. I've been mediocre, but I'll survive. Just been tired. A lot of work. Yeah, this stuff is really easy. And then you just check for every pair. This solution uses a lot of mapping to reuse function calls, and it's terrible. Because the thing with mapping and list comprehension is what I use here, is they're basically the same thing. And it's horrible. I hate it. After solution was a little bit cleaner, because what he did is he didn't do this last splitting part. Because you have 2 arrays here. You can just make it 1 array. And you just have 0, 1, 2, 3. Instead of 1, 2... Sorry, 0, 1, 0, 1. Which, you can just remove this step. It doesn't change the solution, but it's slightly faster. Slightly cleaner. Because now I have this, and that could have then been removed. Because here we don't... Yeah. Don't look at it. It's disgusting. I did it just to see if God would hate me for it. Day 3 was, is there a character overlap between the two? So first you have to check if there are character overlap within the first and second half, because you split into 2 parts. Here and here. And then there's an overlap in character P. And that's sets. Just sets. Is there an overlap in sets? You could have done grab the first part and then do dot contains and then check every character in the second string. But reading input is a pain. Besides that one day with the crates, every single day reading input's been trivial. Because they've been just plain text lines, nothing special. And so part 2, You have to check for every group of 3 if what's the overlapping character. So, oh, and then you're not done yet. You have to return the order of the character, because you have to sum up all the priorities, all the values you get, basically, which is slightly annoying because it's A to Z is 1 to 26. Sorry, lowercase, and capital is 27 to 52. The annoying thing is that in character, in ASCII character codes, they're the other way around. So you have to do a little bit of juggling to basically get the right value here. I try to think if there's a one-way solution you can do it. There really isn't. So what I've seen everyone do is just check if it's upper or lowercase. So what I do is check if it's above A, because you can do this. Just alphabetical sorting. So if it's a capital, it's below this. So this is false. So this, and then if it's lowercase, you do this. Anyway, for the first second half, we just make a set out of the first half, a set out of the second half, and we do a union, and we pop it, because otherwise you get a set and you can't do, whatever. Pop it to get the only value in it. And then you sum them all. And for this one, you basically break it up into a bunch of 3. So you get sets of 3. And then you make a set of the first, the second, and the third, and then you pop it. And there's no overlap in sections, so it's still ON. It would be ON otherwise anyway, but I'm not doing double work here. Day 2. Oh yeah, rock, paper, scissors. Basically, the opponent plays a move and you play a move. And A, B, C is rock, paper, scissors, and X, Y, X, Z, or X, Y, Z, changes. In the first round, it denotes what you play, rock, paper, scissors. And in the second round, it denotes the outcome. Lose, tie, win. So what I did here, I just hard-coded it. I just made, okay, solution 1, just hard-code the result. 2, also do it. You're only filling in 9 values, and it costs like 5 minutes to think about what you want to put in. You're done. Now, I saw a lot of people who filled in, did actual logic here, because A, B, C, they're successive, You can get an index by just doing A minus A is 0, A minus, or B minus A is 1, and C minus A is 2. Which, say this was like day 10 or day 15, then B wouldn't have been, now do it in a slightly different way. No, it would have been, now there is, 10,000 moves you can take. And then this solution wouldn't have worked and would have had to rewrite it. But it did. It worked. So, for every single line, we basically, it's a win's a win indeed. So for every single line in the input, which is a bunch of commands, we basically just check this, just get the value, sum it, and you're done. It's trivially easy. And this is the testing. So like actual code here is just non-existent. Just a bit of hard coding. Day 1 was I mean, it's day 1, it's always easy. In this list of food that they're bringing, these are calories worth. In the first one, you gotta find the elf with the most calories, so you just find the max. And so you have to sum these 3 together. So you have to cut it up into blocks and then sum the stuff inside of it. The second one is what's carried by the top 3. So it's basically telling you, if you had 1 accumulator that counted the max, now you have 2. What I do is I just split it up into elves. I get a section, and then within that I sum it all up, and then I just sort them. And then you print the last value, and that's the highest, and you sum the last 3 values, and then you get the top 3. I think Nyx made a solution where you only ever keep track of the top 3. So you never need to do a sort, because you can basically check, is it larger than the first one, then you just replace the first, shift the other 2 down, vice versa, and then do the same for 2 and 3. And that's ON. That's a waste of time. Yeah, I thought that as well. It's like, you know, technically this is faster if the input was 1,000,000 lines long. Because that solution is ON. And this solution is, I think it's ON log n. Because this section is ON. Because we iterate through the input once. And this is then n log n. So I think it's n cubed log n. I'm not sure how combining n notation works. But the differences between the two approaches is, in practice, it's nothing. Just take the highest order. Okay, just there, so it's n log n. I'm not a computer scientist. I know how it works, because I know series and shit, but I don't know if you, like, in computer science, multiply them together. Or, I don't know. I'm a physicist, not a mathematician. I want an AoC. It would be the Grinch. Watching you do AoC always brings me warm memories. Oh god, that fucking bag problem. I hate those. I love this. I really like AoC, but I hate the days where I spend 3 hours banging my head against the proverbial wall, and then I go and do something else, and then I come back and I solve it within half an hour. The fucking recursive... Was it recursive bags? I mean, basically it was recursive bags. That was painful, man. Because I think I came back and I did it within half an hour. But yeah, just, yeah, it was a treat. Well, it was recursive, but it wasn't infinite. Sorry, it was nested, but not recursive. Because it was bags and bags and bags and bags and bags. I don't know which day it was, otherwise I could look it up. I think I did it in C++, so that must have been 2 years ago. It's like day 19. So I haven't finished last year. Should really go back and do that. No. Day 10? Oh, yeah, fuck, this order was jumping all around the place. No, this joltage? No. I think it was later than that. No, that one was surprisingly easy. Last Game Alive. Oh, the starting decks. Is this the one? No, that's Crab Game. I remember that. That was kind of funny. This one was fucking sub games. North, north, south, east. That wasn't thinking me. Which day was it? Oh, there it is. It's day fucking 7. Yeah. The issue here was you have light red bags contain 1 bright white bag or 2 muted yellow bags. And there's a shiny golden bag. And here, if you wanted to carry it in at least 1 other bag, how many different bag colors would be valid for the outermost bag? How many colors can contain at least? So this is basically how many sets contain this subset, contain the shiny gold bag. And this, the idea here seemed trivial, but can I? Yeah, there's nothing special here. I don't have any hidden repos at the moment. Here, AoC 2019. No, sorry, 2020. 2020. It's day 7. So, like, why did I do this? You had a string and a name for the color. Just, I don't know, fucking hash it. Why the fuck did I do this? And then you had contains and then amounts. And in the end, the solution is this is timing crap and reading it in. And like, this is the actual logic, basically. It's really not that much. Yeah, so part 1 was fairly easy. How many backpacks can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag? And yeah, the second one is how many individual bags are required inside your single shiny gold bag. Because, and then the idea is traverse the entire tree. And then, oh man. So this is basically to parse the stuff again. Why? So in Python, you basically would do split on contain, then split on a comma. The first character is always the amount, and then you extract the next 2 words. And you can just do that in Python. There's like just split on spaces and fucking done. And again, this is just hash this. It's fucking string hashing already in C++. It's a unique identifier. You don't actually need this, but the nice thing is doing it with actual text means you can retrace your steps, which is the thing is why I did that. And this is our target. So you can compare the bags because you have to write special compare logic. I think there's a better way to basically create a class that automatically, you wouldn't have to write compare this. You would just be able to do bag 1 equals bag 2. Compare color. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's just the target, because the shiny gold would be the same. Do I actually ever use color? I don't fucking know. Printing is just the name. Just to get some feedback. Get bag. Yeah. Wait, rules? Oh yeah, rules is the global. Because I think the way I did it is I basically read in the rules globally, and then I could recall. It's like I would only actually look at a rule if I came across it. I can check that fairly easily. Integral hamster. This is 2022. Do I have the 2021s? Yeah, here we go. 7777. That's probably a lot. Use an adjacency matrix. Probably also a good idea. It's actually better, I would say, but I use a lot of access crap. Let's see, find the bag. This will basically tell you, is the bag in there? Yes or no. So this is the end, like most of the logic. For every single bag in the rules, or every single list there. If it contains names, insert it into the answers, which is a global, because that's a terrible way of doing it. And then you check inside the answers if you find it. And you do another recursive search. And part 2 is you basically count up the number of bags you come across. It's in the end, this is like basically all the logic there is. These are just helpers. It's like 30 lines of logic, and I spent so much fucking time actually working on that. Because this is like it's completely deleted the other version already. I am pretty sure that there's 20 different easier ways to do this. Yeah, so this is what I mentioned earlier. You just start breaking a fucking bunch. You replace it with words you don't care about. You split it on this. Don't know why you use rejects on that, but whatever. And then you just parse it, and there you go. It's actually quite easy, because it's just... There's no need for this, like, complicated relationships, because I never actually store, like, a tree here. Because I think that's what I first tried to do. I don't remember. I never actually store a tree here. I basically kind of build it up. Sorry, no, actually, this is basically a tree. Just a very crummy one. Because this is eventually going to be nested. That's also why I don't want to do C, because in C, the memory complexity of this is just impossible. Yeah. And here you make the adjacency matrix. Backside index parser. I'm not sure what this is. I think you basically check. Yeah, you create the adjacency matrix from your input. Yeah. Yeah. I like how you make like 2 and 3. Why do you need 2 here? This is +1 and this is not +1. I think you could have done a count or something here. Length adjacent matrix I. You probably could have done this a little easier with a list comprehension, but it's fine. And if there's nothing inside, you just add 1. Again, this is one of those things that I just overthought a lot. I'm sure it'll happen today as well. Did I already push day 6? I don't think I did. Day 6. So yeah, that was that. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna listen to some. I'm gonna read some papers. All right. I'll see you guys later.